Hello, everyone. Hope you're well. I got a question from Crystal Stanton that says, I would love to know how you overcame your binge eating disorder. I look forward to using your channel as a reference to help me and my family who also inherited the disorder. Crystal, I would love to tell you. Um, the first thing I would suggest that you do is make a pact with yourself because mentally preparing yourself is one of the most important steps. Make a pact with yourself that you are going to forgive yourself for the past because binge eating disorder lives on our shame. I know that I walked around for decades absolutely ashamed with what I had done, what I did at night when I overate, and what I allowed my body to look like and get the shape I allowed myself to get into. It made me feel weak and depressed and hopeless, and I had to let that go. I had to make a pact with myself that as long as I was giving it effort, as long as I was trying, I could not beat myself up over the past or the present. All right, so do that first. Conquer that shame, make it a priority. And I know that that might sound hard because it sounded really hard to me. Like it felt very unnatural to be kind to myself, but I assure you it is very important. The second thing I had to do is identify trigger foods for me because there are certain triggers that are going to set us off. And I've noticed with a lot of people with binge eating disorder, almost most people with binge eating disorder, one of those common triggers is sugar. Uh, so what I had to do is get rid of sugar. I treated sugar like an alcoholic treats alcohol. I couldn't just have a little bit on the weekend because I tried that for a long time where I would just have a cheat meal and I would, have my sugar then, and it always found a way to get me. It would mess with my head. So and it's not just sugars that are triggers. There's a lot of different things, and everyone's different. For me specifically, a non-sugar trigger for me was potato chips. Doesn't matter. I tried all of them, even the ones that I didn't used to like. And it was just the act of, eating something like that that would, even if I can control myself and not overeat them, mentally in my mind it was this shadow that grew and grew and grew to where I was becoming obsessed with eating. And it didn't just end there, and it always eventually the dam would break every time and lead to disaster. So I eliminated those things fully, but I did not go from one extreme, binging all the time, to another extreme, eliminating everything at once. That was too much for me. So I did one little thing at a time. Like for example, I used to have peanut butter and jelly sandwich every single day. The jelly, chock full of sugar. The peanut butter, chock full of sugar. The bread, yeah, they even put sugar in that. So what I did was I changed the bread to a low calorie, high fiber bread. I changed the peanut butter to powdered peanut butter, PB2 specifically, and I changed the jelly to a sugar-free jelly. And I replaced that one food, not anything else. I kept eating cereal. I was eating all these other things that I was eating. I replaced that food and I gave myself 1 to 2 weeks to adjust to that. And it never felt like I was being restricted. And that's very important with binge eating disorder. You do not want to feel restricted because anytime you feel restricted, that leads to a binge, which leads to you needing to plan your meals out and eating every 4 hours, finding things you like, keeping the foods that you can that you like, and finding a way to make them sugar free and to make them healthier in whatever way you can, but not to be overwhelming to you. So ease into it slowly. Do not get in a race with the scale. Do not, plan on a date that you need to be done by because you're not going to be done. This isn't. We're not going to be done. There is no done. Trust me. I know. I'm at what would be considered at least near the finish line, and I've been here for a year, and there's no done. I have to still keep my head on a swivel. I have to still stick to my principles. I have not had an Oreo or a Reese's or any of those kind of things in 5 years now for a reason, because I know that there is no done. I've learned to live in a way where I eat the things I enjoy, and I eat plenty, and I don't feel restricted. And that is very important. So you need to work on that. Just one small step at a time. Work on making this thing sustainable for you. And it's what I do isn't going to work for everyone. You find your own way. We're all different, but you can do it. So on top of that, I would say that there are going to be times probably when you're not perfect and things go wrong. Maybe you slip, maybe you binge. My advice for when that happens is to forgive yourself immediately. There's no reason to feel bad or to feel shame or feel set back. You forgive yourself and you do the next right thing, because no matter how far we fall, no matter where we're at, the next right thing is one step away. So just do that next right thing as soon as you can. And do not feel shame about what you've done. Instead, learn from it. Think about, how could I have avoided that next time? What could I have done, and what am I going to do next time? Start mentally preparing yourself, because that's very important and it actually works. Um, So yeah, and then find an exercise you like, a movement that you like, and move around, because that helps a lot with depression. It helps with anxiety, and it just helps you, be healthier and overall feel better. I hope this helps, and good journey to you and to everyone else. I hope you're all doing well. Talk to you soon. Knuckle love.